big milestone numbers in life that everyone wants to achieve. 18th birthday, 100k salary, $1 million net worth, 7-minute mile, 838,822 YouTube subscribers, 225-pound bench press, first kiss, second marriage, third divorce, fourth kid, and most importantly, the ultimate goal, being able to wake up regularly before 5 in the morning. This is also known as the sub 5 a.m. wake up time. But there's one particular wake up time that everyone wishes they had enough discipline for, 4:30 a.m. Assuming you work or have school or do whatever shady business you have planned from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., this gives you exactly 4 hours and 30 minutes of free time before, 4 hours and 30 minutes of free time after, and then 7 hours to sleep. In other words, it's fully optimal. And I know this picture might be hard to understand if you use a 24-hour clock that has no AM or PM, but luckily you can fix that by going into your phone settings and switching the time to the correct way. Because I know for a fact, everyone who uses 24-hour time pretends to understand it, but they're all secretly converting everything back to American in their heads. Anyway, looking at the schedule, not all of this free time is completely free. I'm ignoring the time it takes to travel and get ready and brush your teeth and cook and clean and do homework, but the point still stands. If you wake up like everyone else does, which is as late as they can get away with, and you go to sleep like everyone else does, which is also as late as they can get away with, then pretty much all your free time will end up clumped together in one big block at the end of the day. And we all know that's much easier to waste time when it's the end of the day, other people are awake and they're distracting you, you're tired from work or school, and most importantly, when you have a lot of time all at once. Which is why people who have this schedule usually waste a lot of time. But people who can get closer to this schedule will make the most of their time. Now, 99% of people who are looking at this will be like, okay, I guess I'll keep that in mind for later, but right now, sleep is kind of low priority for me, dude. I got other things to worry about. I want to get ripped, get rich, get smart, get good grades, start a business, learn an instrument, and make a lot of friends. So once I finish doing all that, then I'll start waking up earlier. But what these people fail to realize is that waking up at 4:30 a.m. doesn't count when you're 95 years old. And besides, going to sleep earlier and waking up earlier will get you closer to all the things you want to achieve in life. It'll indirectly fix every single problem you can think of. The problem is, when you Google how to wake up early, the advice you get is just hard to follow, and not many people actually go through with it. Especially advice that tells you to create a nighttime routine where you take a warm shower even though you only ever shower in the morning, and then you dim the lights, and then you somehow read a book even though you just dimmed the lights and you can barely see, and then you meditate for the first time since last year, and then you get in bed 3 hours earlier than you're used to, so you toss and turn and you don't actually fall asleep until an hour later, and then you magically wake up, take a cold shower, go for a 2-mile run, and do intermittent fasting until lunch. That is the quote-unquote optimal plan. But no matter how good this advice is, it just relies on you suddenly getting the motivation and willpower to do this giant list of things that you've never done before, and to keep on doing it every day for the rest of your life. So instead, here is an easy technique that you can do right now. It's called the 1 alarm method. Basically, you train yourself to automatically associate the sound of your alarm with waking up, just like how dogs automatically associate this word with something bad. I'm not going to say it out loud in case any dogs are watching this, but you get the idea. Step 1 is to delete all your extra unnecessary alarms that you use. If you're the type of person who sets your alarms like this, first of all, you'll never find someone to live with, and second of all, you should delete them. Because it might work sometimes, but it's teaching your brain that when you hear an alarm sound, you don't have to take it seriously. Step 2 is to practice hearing your alarm, jumping out of bed, and immediately doing stuff that'll wake you up. You can practice this any time of the day, even now. Here's what I do. Set your alarm for 1 minute, turn off the lights so it's dark, and get into bed and pretend to go to sleep with the blankets on top of you and everything. When you hear the alarm go off, immediately get out of bed, switch off the alarm, and turn on the light. And you can add a few more steps to that if you want. The more the better. Like, get up, switch off the alarm, open the curtains, stare out at the sky, stretch, drink a big gulp of water, turn on the lights, go into the bathroom, splash some cold water on your face, and grab your toothbrush. This whole routine takes about 1 to 2 minutes, and when you're done, repeat this entire process again at least 5 times. Then step 3, the next time your alarm actually rings in the morning, your brain will be conditioned to immediately wake up and do this entire routine, and over time, the habit will get stronger and stronger. It'll basically be muscle memory. So now that you know how to wake up at any time you want, it's time to actually fix your sleep schedule so that you can wake up at 4:30 a.m. and actually have a productive day. There's a bunch of little things that go into this, so I'll split it up into levels. Level 1 is moving back your bedtime. Let's say your current sleep schedule is sleep 12 a.m., wake up 7 a.m., but you want it to be sleep 9:30 p.m., wake up 4:30 a.m. Instead of immediately trying to follow the schedule on day 1, just start here and move your bedtime and wake up time back by 15 minutes each day. Just 15 minutes. That means wake up at 6:45 on day 1, 6:30 on day 2, 6:15 on day 3, and keep going. It seems like it's too slow, but actually it only takes you 10 days to get to the schedule you want. The reason this gradual approach works better is because it's harder to mess up, and it also gives you a clear and realistic target to hit every day. Usually, people just leave it up to vibes. Most people think to themselves, you know what, it would be pretty cool if I just slept at 9 o'clock today. And then it gets to 9:01 and they think, well, I missed 9 o'clock, might as well shoot for a round number like 9:30. And once it gets to 9:31, they're like, well, now I gotta wait until 10. And this continues until the time on the clock hits single digits again. It's like trying to hit a target with a dart, except you forgot to buy the target. Most people don't actually plan out what time they're gonna sleep. They just leave it for the nighttime version of themselves to figure out. But when you push back your bedtime by 15 minutes a day, you already know from the moment the day starts exactly what time you should be asleep by and exactly what time to set your alarm for. You know exactly what to do, you just have to do it. Next, level 2, dealing with the screens and the light. Everyone knows by now that bright light, and especially blue light, makes it harder to fall asleep, and you probably already have some kind of blue light filter turned on for your phone and laptop. But the problem here is that the default setting is usually pretty weak. This right here is a case of go big or go home. Turn it all the way up. Make it as red as it can get. The more red, the better. You can do the same thing with the lights in your bedroom by just switching to a warm colored lamp when it's getting close to your bedtime. Now on to level 3, nighttime routine. Most people will tell you to do this really complicated nighttime routine, but realistically I think the easiest routine that actually works is to just stop using screens entirely 30 minutes before bedtime, and then fill those 30 minutes with whatever you want to do. It could be nothing. It could be cleaning your house. It could be looking at a pressure washer operations manual. It could be stretching or making breakfast for tomorrow. Just don't look at screens for those 30 minutes. And I know a lot of people are going to say, wait, I can't turn off my screens that early. I always have important business to finish that requires a screen. Really? Even if you do have something important to do, remember 2 things. 1, you're going to wake up early, so you're not losing any time. And 2, you're actually going to be more productive in the morning, because you actually have a time limit to get stuff done. At night, you can just waste 4 hours and then dip into your sleep time to make up for it, so don't give yourself that option. Next, level 4, caffeine and food. Caffeine actually stays in your system for a long time after you drink it, up to 10 hours, and some people can handle it fine, but if you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself, just don't drink any caffeine after lunchtime. Also, the reason I put food here is because, believe it or not, eating too close to bedtime also makes it harder to sleep. If you actually try eating your last meal of the day really earlier than usual, you'll notice it's a lot easier to fall asleep. Next, level 5, exercise. Everyone pretty much knows this. If you're moving around all day and you tire yourself out, sleep comes really easily. So if you never feel tired at night, physical activity might be the answer. Like actual tiring physical activity, not bench pressing. And finally, level 6, wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I just put this at the end of the list for fun. I know nobody actually does it. Good night, and as always, I'm collecting donations in the form of subscribes to fund the next video.